Namaskar. Welcome back, guys. This is our 11th episode on our catching up series, and today we have a lot of things to talk about. We have trailers to watch, we have some upcoming games to talk about, few that are coming up, a little bit more talking about the delay situation out there, and some more expansions and other stuff to take a look at. So, just to give a little bit of context here, we will be talking about Alien or Alien. You may have known them from as Ascent Infinite Realm. They changed that name. We'll be talking about uh, World of Warcraft as the Shadowlands expansion awaits in very near future. Producer later from EverQuest 2. Guild Wars 2, we have a little bit of announcement and a trailer to watch. Something from League of Legends. We have Everface 2's little bit of info, Genshin Impact, and many, many more. So let's head into our news today. Right. So that was the launch trailer, or rather the reveal trailer for Alien Ascent Infinite Realm. This is from Alien's own Twitter page. Everything as usual. I'll be linking down in the descriptions. Go on with them as much as needed. So something there, as you can see, they have put a few points, but literally this is just the trailer. What we are really going to talk in this case actually comes from two places. One is MMO culture, the other is massively OP. Thanks to them, we have some info, and let's see it. Well, confirmation that Alien will be a buy-to-play title. Confirmation that, well, it's going to come out on 10th December 2020 on South Korea, tentatively, and possibly on the second half of 2021 in NAEU as in the West. Possibly that will be a global release, but I don't know. With Kakao Games and Bluehole Studios, it might just get a region lock. So no idea, but anyway, hopefully. Uh, but they don't have this global written there, sadly. So who knows? So yeah, that is now due to buy-to-play release. We have a little bit detail on, or rather, some screenshots of the Founders Pack editions for Alien on here. You will find that there are three editions here. Of course, I'm not going into what are the stuff inside there because obviously we might not get the same when it comes here in next, not comes here, comes in West in next year. But uh, the pricing, which is a little bit weird here, so they have a after lunch price and a before lunch price, which is a discounted price. And if you can like equivalent to USD, you can find here that the discounted price for first edition is 8.82, whereas the original 17.64. Similarly, for the second edition, it will be 26.46 to 73.51, and the final, the deluxe or maybe the ultimate edition, who knows, the 61.47 to 196.02. So that's a little bit interesting pricing scheme there, but I'm pretty sure when next year it comes out on here in I mean comes out in the West, not here, of course, comes out in the West, it'll be the prices we will find a lot different because we all know how the West prices are in almost every single game, that is. So hopefully it will be something reasonable and not absolutely atrocious. But yeah, Alien will be by today for those who were wondering. Thank you. Well, 17 days, 12 hour, 47 minute, and counting till Shadowlands global release on World of Warcraft. I'm pretty sure many World of Warcraft players are interested in this. Of course, there has been a lot of interesting debates I've seen, but yeah, many of among you are interested in going in the Shadowlands. So here is the release date, November 23rd, which is basically uh, two 2 week. So it will be 2 week after 2 week Monday, November 23rd. So yeah, incredible, right? It will be released on 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 a.m. CET, November 24th. Depends. So we have a story trailer to watch. Shall we?
Not life, not death, but through the jailer, control of our fate will at last be possible.
That, yep. So there's also the global release times in several regions. Uh, I'm gonna zoom into this a little bit. Hopefully, yeah. So in LA, it's 3 p.m. PST. New York, 6 p.m. EST. Uh, Sao Paulo, 8 p.m. BRT. London, 11 p.m. GMT. Paris, 12 a.m. CET. Moscow, 12 a.m. MSK. Ankara, 12 a.m. TRT. Abu Dhabi, 12 a.m. GST. Cape Town, 1 a.m. SST, which is this AMs go into 11th of November, whereas the PMs were 23rd of November, not 11th, sorry, 24th of November and 23rd of November. I hate this time scheme that shows here. Confuse the hell out of me anyway. Seoul will have 8 a.m. KST, Taipei 7 a.m. CST, and Sydney 10 a.m. AEDT. So that's the global release times for these regions, and of course, if you're outside of these regions, of course, you can go on and see what is it for your time. Here we have all the regions written here. So yep, convert it if you are not exactly in these regions and see what time it is for you. So 17 days, 12 hours, 43 minutes and counting for World of Warcraft Shadowlands. So EverQuest 2 Reign of Shadows expansion and the producer letter. So basically, we have a producer letter which gives us a little more info about EverQuest 2's Reign of Shadow expansion. Let's read it. This image is interesting. Why? Let's see. Well, notable features: get distracted by shiny things, knock things off of high play, hate dogs, play as a Vashir. So, new playable race, Vashir in Shir, yep, Vashir in 5 years, and the race looks interesting to say the least. I'm pretty interested to see the customization options we'll have for this race, and yeah, this is probably a cat race. I think so. That's exactly how it looks. Maybe not exactly cat, but more of a lion variant of it. But yeah, I like it. Always can use more cats. Right. 20 Reign of Shadows Prestige advancement points and 10 Reign of Shadow Prestige abilities. Maximum guild level increased to 350 with all new content driven guild leveling mechanisms. An incredible thing when a game has guild level 350. Yeah. An incredible thing that EverQuest 2 is. My goodness, EverQuest IP is great. Uh, Discover new adventure, trade skill, and signature quests to investigate what secrets lay concealed in the endless gloom. Master all new solo heroic, challenge heroic, and raid content. The perpetual shade of Lochlin's talk set. So on November 10, we will have okay. So on November 10, we'll have this coming between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. PDT. So that's where you get your time. Also, class alternate advancement abilities will get a full revamp. Okay. Yeah. They also have video series and they have some events that are going on already, along with their 16th anniversary. Some level up, gear up things going on. So I'm pretty sure EverQuest fans are very much interested in this expansion that's coming. Very much uh, want to get their hands on this new race. Like, yeah, who doesn't like cats? Hmm? Do you? So that's it for EverQuest 2. I hope all of you will enjoy Brain of Shadow. from Australia Online, we have some details that there will be some things that are coming in the future updates, like this place that is called Pallet Coast. There's some screenshots basically, not much of a detail, but these places are coming in the future updates, which is not now, but soon in the future. Soon here. So basically, these are all some of the screenshots they have given. So also new Estelle, like variant skins, if you may. And that's more of a detail we got from them anyway. But yeah, the screenshots looked good. Those places will probably be very incredible views at the very least. So yeah. Well, from Guild Wars 2, we have two things. First, uh, they want to have more focus on their expansion, the End of Dragons, and their Living World season. Thus, they have put the Steam release on hold for now. We don't have any time gate as to when they will have the release anymore, but maybe that's good for the time being. Like most of the players who play Guild Wars 2 play on their client, so yeah, I guess it's fine that we are going to get more. Uh, they're working on their expansion and the living world with more intensity, and hopefully, once the expansion comes, after that, the Steam release will happen. So possibly another year, but yeah, will happen definitely. Second thing, we have yesterday we have the Icebrood Saga's first chapter, Truce. It's revealed trailer. So let's take a look.
He stirs, and when he awakens, oh, it will not be with the same grace as I.
I've been tracking equates, needles all over the place. Way more than ordinary tectonic movement.
Can't say I was expecting you to have my back.
You dying doesn't help us kill Primordius, Commander.
Primordus will lay waste to this world.
And you are not ready.
Yeah. So another thing to note that the current Living World episode, Jomag Rising, is free to claim until November 17, when the Chapter 1 Truce will come up, so that will be free to claim at that point. But yeah, if you have not claimed Jomag Rising yet, go on, claim it. And yeah, another like story. Personally, I'm quite excited for Guild Wars 2 stories. I have had very fun time playing them, and they're pretty enjoyable. So of course, more stories. But yeah, November 17th. That's the date. And we'll get more detail on the later chapters, and which will continue up till December, I believe. Past December, actually. And after that, hopefully, we'll get more detail on the next expansion, End of the Dragons. Well, first of all, before we talk about League of Legends Ruined King, which is why we are going to talk about here, but yeah, kudos to Damwon Gaming for winning World Championship 2020. Congratulations to this team. And I watched the Worlds like I do every year, and it was incredible. Both teams were incredible, but yeah, Damwon Gaming won it. So congratulations to them. And here we have Ruined King, which is basically a storyline game from League of Legends. We have six champions: Miss Fortune, Ila, Ilaoi, Braum, Pike, Ari, and Yasuo. And basically, they will explore Bridgewater and go to the Shadow Isles. There's some mist over there, so we'll see the trailer in a sec. So these are the screenshots from the Bilgewater and the Shadow Isle. Let's take a look if we can get something more detail on that. Please. So okay, so there are more champions available. Incredible, incredible, incredible. So there's a little bit of backstory here on the Bilgewater itself. Read that. We have Fizz, Gunplank, Graves, Eloy, Misfortune, Nautilus, Spike, Tamkaj, and Twisted Fate for Bilgewater region. Uh, and there are four stories in this area, I think, I guess, possibly. There's a thing from Legend of Tales of Runeterra, Bridgewater. So they have some featured videos and all that, some screenshots, and a little bit of story details. And this is like some God of Life growth and whatnot, and some other concept arts and all that. And of course, the Shadow Isle region as well. For the champions, we have Hikarin, Karthus, Resh, Kalista, Mordekaiser, Yorick, Maokai, and Elise. Now, we are not sure whether they will be playable champions or not. Maybe, possibly not. There might be your enemy champions that we'll be fighting against. But all about fun, right? Uh, so yeah, again, stories, Legend of Runeterra, so a little bit of videos on that, and then visions. Yep, incredible Hall of Conjunction. Okay, entities. And the Blessed Isles. So So maybe this was before what happened there, possibly. So let's take a look at the video. So yeah, early 2021, and as we get more details into this, I'll be quite happy to share about it. That makes pretty fun stories in many senses. But yeah, I'm pretty interested to see how they portrayed these characters in this scenario and how all the relations and all the overall storyline goes on to. And as we get more details, of course, we'll share it here. Now is the time to talk about the delay thing that happened. We talked in our previous edition. You may have remembered that due to Cyberpunk 2077's delay to December, uh, Path of Exile's expansion was supposed to be delayed as well. Well, I'm gonna just show you a thing from Ammo Bomb. Thanks for covering that up. They have they did a little article on what exactly the uh, they said, the Path of Exiles their thing said, and this particular paragraph they highlighted is not something I'm gonna say here, but I'm gonna just show this here for you to see exactly what their opinion is for Cyberpunk 2077, how high their expectations is as game developers and the companies, and the fact that they are understanding the current scenario with that game as the hype is still increasing. So yeah, this is the article and this is the particular paragraph I wanted you guys to see. So yeah, this is from Path of Exiles. So they're pretty accurate, to be honest, because we already know something that happened to, yeah, to the one of the senior developers at CD Projekt Red, and that is not at all something that should be encouraged at all. It's pretty sad to see a developer receiving something like that, but over a game delay for like what, some days, from November 17 to December 10th, so some days. Yep, that's pretty sad. But well, there's just one scenario of another game forced to delay. Another scenario, you might have not expected that as well, but yeah. Uh, Everspace 2. Some of us who have played the original Everspace, the first one, and probably enjoyed it. Possibly. It wasn't extremely enjoyable for me personally, but I did had a bad time at there as well. So their current Airspace 2 is on Kickstarter, and this is something they put up uh, from their site. So due to Cyberpunk's release, uh, they pushed the early access of Aerospace 2, which was supposed to be releasing in mid-December, into January. So we don't have a particular date for that yet, but uh, yeah. So another game forced to delay itself. But again, these guys as well, they also like at this point, all the game companies, they already know that once that game comes out, everyone, and literally every content creator, probably m- more than half of the entire player base, all games shared, possibly even more than half, about 75% of the player base will be going right and playing that game. So yeah, despite the fact that they both games are forced to delay, I personally think that they have very proper understanding, and I've seen a very quite a lot of people not liking their decisions. But well, once Cyberpunk 2077 comes out, the craze you'll see for that. Keep a lookout for the Steam charts and its Twitch page. You'll see exactly how many people will play that game. So yeah, Space 2 forced to delay as well. Now a little bit of details from that as well. The closed beta access for those who have backed this game for 30 USD or more, they will have new keys, or rather, they already got new keys uh, as the things went out on November 2nd. So all those keys will be new keys. The previous key will be cancelled, because the new keys you can put on either Steam or GOG or all the other places or clients. So yeah, Epic Games Store and all that, when they accept it on their store, that is. Now, two things they have also showed a little bit of into screenshots of the crafting system, which they are saying that they can players can turn their worthless gears that are not relevant to their current scenario of that game, when they will be playing like a high level card or high level scenario, and they'll be getting some trash out of it, like the worthless stuff we always get among the good stuff. So you can turn those into a better piece of gear, enchant different type of gears, weapons, and all that. Uh, Prevents players from hoarding crafting resources. Inventory management doesn't become a chore. I am not exactly sure how that works, but we'll see. We'll see. And if you're not, yeah, as they said, if you are RNG unlucky, which 80% of us are sometimes, uh, then or doesn't want to do side quests, which I don't know why wouldn't you, but yep, there are people like that. So uh, you can turn the make more good gears through crafting system anyway. They also have two screens of their gunship. She's a heavy fighter subclass armed to teeth using four primary hardpoints as well as devastating 360-degree auto turret ultimate. So this is just a small screenshot, nothing more. But again, there's a space game. This is a the space was quite fun to play. Not exactly extremely good, but yep, it was fun to play. And I'm a little bit interested in Aerospace 2. So as more details comes out of their what they're doing and what not, how it works, we'll probably see a little more coverage of this here as well. Now regarding Genshin Impact, I got this info from mainly from Massively OP and PC Gamer. I've also put a trailer for their upcoming update that is going to come in around 5 days. So basically, what will be in that update? Uh, the update 1.1 will have an ending to the Liu region quest chain that we are going through in the first scenario. There will be two 5-star characters, the Hydro Archer Shielder that can switch between the range and melee combat modes, which will be pretty interesting because this is a like you can switch from melee and uh, range, so at least you don't have to have two same element like two Hydro characters for that, because this will be rather an interesting way. Like I kind of want to see how they are making that switching between weapons and all that, and how we can put this aspect with other characters that we have in our party, and they have that synergy that we are working on with current characters uh, alongside the Geopolar user Zhongli, who has strong defense and ability to petrify enemies. This will also be very fun to work with, especially like petrifying enemies when they're trying to do a powerful attack or something like that. Uh, then uh, there will be two 4-star characters, Zinyan and Diona. It will also introduce the update will also introduce a city reputation system, uh, which will give exclusive items and customizations, uh, like portable waypoint, portable stove, treasure compass, Oculus resonance stone, which I'm not sure what it is right now, but we'll see. It will also have an event, the first seasonal event of Genshin Impact, known as Unreconciled Stars, where players will fight against quote unquote a sudden and terrible catastrophe facing Tevat. The event will run for 2 weeks and will have various new quests and some co op challenges to earn rewards like 4-star character Fischl. And let's take a look at the trailer, shall we? So basically, this trailer is on PC Gamer's article. So let's take a look.
Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Lira tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
This is the largest one we've seen so far. The Fatui! They're attacking the Glacial Forest now!
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice
You can bully me? Pyrotechnics! Oh yeah, rock on! D, Luke! Oh, I can't stand him. Special!
So, only 4 days, November 11th, and we'll find everything about this new update 1.1. Uh, so a little bit of just one thing to add here, that BlizzCon 2021, which will happen next year, February 19 and February 20. This event will be free for everyone to attend, through, of course, through online sessions and all that, virtual celebration, because that's what the president J. Allen Breck said in their chat video, quote unquote, while we won't have a physical show this year, we are very much looking forward to BlizzCon early next. We want it to be a big virtual celebration. So BlizzCon will be free to watch and engage in. So this is the first time BlizzCon will be free to watch and engage in, as Breck said, and I'm quite interested to see what more we can find on regarding their upcoming games and titles in next year's BlizzCon. So February 19, 20 is the date. So a new update is coming in Arcade and Arcade Unchained, the rise of Nalia, which will be there in around 6 more days ish. So, or rather, 1 week ish, if you may. So next week, yesterday, as in next week, Thursday, November 12th, we will have Rise of Nalia. So, what are they saying? A powerful and foreboding presence stays among the ruins of Halnak's arcane academy within the Mistrain Gorge, a land since laid untouched for thousands of years until recently. Okay, explore the Mistrain Gorge in the Rise of Nadia update. Defeat enemies corrupted by the Akash. Obtain Souls-like gear to show off your victory and conquest against truly powerful and defend the seal stones at whatever the cost. That will be probably a new event or something like that. uh, right? Uh, they'll have something called farmhand system where helpful NPCs will harvest crops, tend livestock, and run trade packs. So players don't have to spend half of their time doing stuff like that, which is interesting to say the least. But we'll see what exactly are the costs of that and how are the things going on later. But let's take a look at the trailer. And that was extremely short trailer, but yeah, okay, whatever. I don't like, yeah. And also another thing that starting from November 4th, which is was 2 days ago, uh, the daily login reward is active for both games. uh, so head to the account page, select daily reward, and choose the character for which you would like to receive the reward. Then log in and get the item for your game character through your mailbox. So on November 4th, it was 2 times Garden Elixir, which has a minimum of level 30 restriction. Fifth, 5 Radiant Infusion Supply Kits. November 6th is today. Again, got it. So 6th, 8th, 10th, 12th, and 14th are 2 times got it easier, whilst 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, and 15th are 5 times Radiant Infusion Supply Kits. So they are only claimable for their designated days. The event ends on 8 a.m. UTC on Monday, November 16th. So the thing I can be excited for in this particular update is exactly what they said, the farmhand system. But yeah, I'm also a bit of skeptical whether it will have additional things, additional strings to look out for. But we'll see. We'll see in the future. Well, the final DLC for Elder Scrolls Online Greymoor chapter is now live on PC, and which is the update 28, where we go to Markarth. That's the DLC. Yep. It's available for PC, Mac, and Stadia if you are in Stadia, that is. But on the consoles, Xbox One or PS4, it will release on November 10th, so 4 days. Yep. Within the DLC and free base game patch, there are 2 new zones to explore, the Reach and the Arxant Cavern, which has quests and all that. Conclusion of Dark Heart of Skyrim storyline. So another new expansion will come next year. Interesting for that, particularly. New reward including item sets, achievements, and collectibles. New solo arena, veteran hollows. Say it, veteran hollows. What's the problem? Right. Uh, a new item set collection system. New quality of life improvement. Yeah. We've already seen this thing before. The DLC, of course, ESO Plus. We mark out the Reach and the Caverns. Conclusion and Veshran Hollow Arena. The Reach Bounty. And yeah, how they're getting started on Markarth. So yeah, in update 28, we have a new item set collection system. They have put some weird stuff here, but right, a little bit of UI. Have new sets. Will free up much needed inventory, bank, or coffer space, which is interesting and good. Uh, so you can put those sets in UI, reconstruct them at the cost of transmutation crystals from any transmutation station, such as one found in a Clockwork City. Okay. So every set in Tamriel can be stored in the collections. Crafting with UI improvement. It will display appropriate details, including what materials and or selection needed to be picked to complete the quest. That's great. And finally, the Dark Heart of Skyrim, the year-long adventure that started with the prologue and all that, is coming to an end, or rather is at an end. So all of you who are going to buy the TNC and enjoy Markarth, go right ahead. Console players, November the 10th is your date. Now you might remember this game from Ubisoft's display to here. We have Immortals Fenyx Rising, which was, if you remember the E3, this was formerly titled as gods and demons, and now they have made it into a new name, Immortal Specs Rising. We have some PC specs and features in this video. Thanks to PC Gamer for upload this as well. Let's take a look at it.
Hello everyone, Gabe here, PC community developer here at Ubisoft, and today we're excited to jump in some of the PC details around Immortals Fenyx Rising. To get you all that juicy information though, we of course have to talk to the people that know what they're talking about. So we had a few chats with the dev team to talk about what they've done to build you a PC experience. Without further ado, let's get to it. Creating an experience that as many people could access with the tools you need to customize that experience was at the core of what the team set out to do. The goal was not just to put together a quick port for the game so that it's playable on PC, but rather they set out to adapt and develop a fully fledged PC experience. In this case, adapting meant designing and creating dedicated PC features that use all the advantages that come with the PC platform and provide those in-depth customization options and scalability in terms of performance across a wide range of hardware. To properly talk about how the team has achieved this scalability, let's dive into some of the technical details powering Immortals Fenyx Rising. First things first, we have the engine. The game uses an adapted version of the Anvil engine. Anvil is a powerful tool and the foundation that supports vast but also rich open worlds. It's been tailored to be scalable over a variety of platforms and to process significant amount of game content via advanced geometry culling, multi-threading, tiled rendering, and of course all sorts of other optimizations targeted to deliver the ambitious vision to as wide of an audience as possible. All this while keeping the quality bar high, taking advantage of the great knowledge and experience they have working with the engine. In terms of rendering API, the team decided to go with the ever-reliable DX11 to be able to tell Fenyx's story to as many people as possible by supporting a wider range of hardware and providing a smooth experience for everyone. PC isn't PC without a bunch of different settings you can tweak, so let's talk about those and the performance tools the dev team has put in your hands. As part of scalability and the fact that there are basically an infinite amount of different hardware setups that hit different performance levels, the dev team is giving you a bunch of settings that allow you to adjust the visual quality and therefore performance so that you can find the perfect balance for your own setup. All these settings allow you to push your hardware to the max so you can have incredible picture quality, uncapped FPS for all of you with high refresh rate monitors, and set higher resolutions. There's also support for multi-monitor setups up to 48:9 for all of you that really want to extend your experience. Once you have your settings locked in, the team has made sure that you can easily test all that out and make adjustments from there with a dedicated in-game benchmark as well as a real-time performance analyzer so you can use that to get a constant stream of all that juicy performance information. On top of all the visual settings though, you also have all of those that impact how you interact with the game. To give you all that in-depth customization, you'll find fully customizable controls for mouse and keyboard, so you can adjust everything to fit your exact preferences. The 3 C's, so camera, characters, and controls, also have different behaviors when using mouse and keyboard to provide an adapted experience in terms of movement that better suits the input types. On top of that, the game of course also supports a variety of different gamepads and also features hybrid input, which allows you to use multiple devices at the same time. All of this also ties into the accessibility features, which the team has worked hard on to give you the options you need to play in a comfortable way that fits your needs. The team has also implemented some technology from AMD. Fidelity FX is an option you can enable to bring out details with contrast adaptive sharpening that increases quality by enabling sharpness to restore detail after temporal anti-aliasing is applied. In short, and in a bit simpler terms, you'll be able to improve visual quality with very little performance impact. So with all that, what's it look like when we translate that into some PC specs? Well, let's take a look at them. Starting it off at 720p at 30 FPS with very low graphical settings. On the CPU side, you'll need an Intel Core i5-2400 or an AMD FX 6300. For the graphics card, you'll need a GeForce GTX 660 or an AMD R9 280X. For RAM, you're looking at 8GB in the dual channel mode setup, and VRAM you'll need 2GB for NVIDIA and 3GB for AMD. For storage space, you need 28GB on a hard drive and at least Windows 7 64-bit for the operating system. Next up, we have the 1080p 30 FPS category at high graphical settings. For the CPU, you'll need an Intel Core i7-3770 or an AMD FX 8350. For the graphics card, you're looking at a GeForce GTX 970 or an AMD R9 290. For RAM, you'll need the same 8GB in the dual channel mode, 4GB of VRAM, and you'll need 28GB on an SSD, which is the same for the rest of the categories. And similarly, for the rest of the categories, you'll also need Windows 10 64-bit. The next category we have is 1080p at 60fps with the high graphical settings. For CPU, you'll need an Intel Core i7-6700 or an AMD Ryzen 7 1700. For the graphics card, you'll need a GeForce GTX 1070 or an AMD RX Vega 56. You'll need 16GB of RAM in the dual channel mode and 8GB of VRAM. For the next category, we have 1440p at 60fps using the very high graphical settings. For the CPU, you'll need an Intel Core i7-8700K or an AMD Ryzen 5 3600X. For the graphics card, you're looking at a GeForce RTX 2070 Super or an AMD RX 5700. You'll need the same 16GB of RAM in dual channel mode setup and 8GB of VRAM. Finally, we have 4K at 30fps using the very high graphical preset. For the CPU, you're looking at an Intel Core i7-8700K or a Ryzen 7 3700X. For the graphics card, you'll need a GeForce RTX 2070 or an AMD RX Vega 56. For RAM, you'll need that same 16GB in dual channel mode setup and 8GB of VRAM. Do note though that the graphics card requirement for the 1440p settings is higher than the 4K settings because of the FPS target. So with all that information, there are a few important things to note. Close any resource-intense programs in the background that you might have running. Keep your drivers up to date, and make sure your Windows is up to date as well. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope that gives you a good rundown of what you...
So that was the detail on the PC specs, requirements, system requirements for Immortal Fenyx Rising. And sorry if not everyone liked watching this video in that way, but uh, after watching the video myself, I get that feeling that watching this will allow better understanding than myself simply writing that down and speaking that without showing you anything. So yes, I hope anyone who might be interested in this game, that's your details for your system requirements. But other than that, I am not sure about what to talk about this game yet. Hopefully in the future we'll get more details and more of what exactly we are getting into. We know we have seen the graphical fidelity, of course, and all that good stuff, but what is exactly the game will be about, that much we'll have to see in the future. But we know that in the Epic Game Store this will go live and they have the pre-order system as well up and running. So let's go here. So what I do understand is that we are in a mythological Greek Olympiad, that kind of era, and the character Pinks, which is probably her or his name. I'm not really understanding whether it's he or she from the videos, but uh, you go on an adventure and kill giant monsters and stuff like that. So pre-order bonus, these wings, and there are two versions: the standard edition and the gold edition. Standard edition has a full game, and gold edition has full game, season pass, and any additional DLC contents that will be up and coming later. So these are some screenshots that are available for Immortal Fenyx Rising. Like this is a Minotaur, there's a Griffin. Uh, and looking at this, I personally think this may be a female character, but I'm not really sure about that. Like, yeah, I'm not exactly sure. So different weapons and all that. So you have a standard edition for 43.99 on pre-purchase, or Rising Gold Edition, that was the deluxe edition, the second edition, for 73.99. Well, let us know whether you want to play this game at what you are looking forward to for this game, and maybe will like something that this game is showing as well. Who knows? And like every week, we have yesterday's This Week at Bungie, their newsletter, and essentially, we're at our last week before the new season and the new expansion of their upcoming story and everything that is coming at Beyond Light, where we walk into the darkness. So, let's take a look. We saw the launch trailer, of course. So, yeah, we'll be descending in Europa. New players will go into the Cosmodrome with a better experience. Uh, and all this interesting stuff you can see right here. I'm quite interested at watching how the new light stuff are going to work and what not they're going to improvise there, as well as the Europa story. Personally, like Destiny's lore is pretty incredible lore we have there, and I'm always excited for more Destiny stories. So yeah, as they have said, they have already introduced as major things in their previous newsletters. So just 4 days, November 10th. That's it. Last week before the resets, and we know at November 9, server will go down, and on 10 it will finally be back up. One thing to note though, that from their Twitter page, we know that there is uh, a certain event is going to happen before the this server goes down and all that. So I'm pretty excited to see what their end of the season event for this time will be, and whether it will be an incredible event, it will be a calming event, it will be something fun or something very uh, engaging. We'll see that very soon. But let's take a look. So on November 10, two kiosks will be available in the tower. The quest archive found next to the postmaster, uh, which removes some confusion when trying to track down the art quest previously discarded, which is good. If you all the available quests and everything is at the kiosk, then that might be easier for some people who have discarded those quests. Like I know I personally did that before. So yeah, that will be very interesting. I don't have to think about which quest was that, who was that NPC that I got it from. But I can just come at the kiosk and get it. Additionally, this will be the place for any veteran players to pick up the new light quest at November 10th. So you know all the veteran players can experience the new light story quest that will have starting from November 10th, the revamped version, the better version, if you may. So I'm personally pretty excited to see what they are going to get, what they have done with the new lights experience. Uh, so yeah, they reintroduced Cosmodrome and all that. This is how it will look. Next, this thing. This is the Monument of Lost Lights Exotic Archive, which will be found by the Vault. Here, players may acquire various exotic and legendary pinnacle or pursuit weapons that were once available now through now retired quests. As many of these exotics are tied to lengthy quests and difficult objectives, we wanted to make sure their prices reflected those previous efforts. There we need an amount of glimmer, destination materials, masterworking materials, an exotic cipher, or ascendant shard in order to purchase the exotic or legendary which they desire. Also introducing a currency, Spoils of Conquest, which can only be acquired when completing raids. This currency will be required for exotics previously tied to vaulted raids. So essentially, anyone who doesn't have, for let's say, um, Taraba, leave, and all those stuff that are connected to raids that are going away, you can do raids, get spoils of conquest, and exchange that for these raid rewards. Uh, in the past, exotic ciphers were very limited in nature. Uh, these will be expect one to be available as part of the season pass. Zool will offer a quest to earn one exotic cipher on a weekly cadence. Finally, because I literally have all the exotics I need from Zool, and I can like finally get something other than that from Zool. Quest, fine, but okay, something new that I can exchange for what other exotics I don't have and that tied to something else. Maybe the season pass that I couldn't complete, maybe something else. So yeah, that is certainly a great thing. Uh, Traditional patch note here in Crucible Trials of Osiris, power level requirement are increased to 1210. Added adapt weapons and weapon mods to flawless reward chests, which we covered in our previous scenario, or rather previous uh, episode. Uh, Added physical blockers to some out-of-bound areas in Ultra Flame, Exodus Blue, and Cauldron. Login screens now have a dark background. Good. Thankfully, finally, good. That white background, that was annoying. Updated the full screen menus to have dark background style player weapons now waypoints now display season rank HUD waypoints. Okay, that was a little bit of confusing, but we'll see when the game goes live on that. The toggle functionality to the character screen, allowing the player to make choice between light and dark subclasses. Wow! So we can probably assume that more dark-sided subclasses will be coming in the future, possibly, because otherwise, why is a toggle option? Possibly more dark-sided subclasses are coming, and I'm pretty interested to see what is going on with that front. Uh, Character screen visuals updated depending on their choice between light or dark. Okay, interesting. Character creation, character selection from male and female to masculine and feminine. All right. Gutted head and hair models have been replaced with improved versions. Several color switches have been changed to better represent the applied color. Previous head selections are still used. Please let us give an option to revamp a character. Like, literally, we need that. Some of the characters are extremely hideous. Fixed a bug that prevented online friends from showing up in the roosters Stadia for players more than 100 friends. Okay. Fixed a bug that occasionally prevented players from earning progress on bounties when joining activities on progress. Uh, all right, incredible. Cosplayer to have all right. Travelers chosen reduces muzzle flash intensity. Point of the slag. All right, the power this point of the slag max power level to 1310. Divinity fixed a bug that prevented some weapons from dealing precision damage from the to the divinity gauge, like Idiana's bow. Hunter's dodge increased cooldown for a few seconds. Anti-champion mods, anti-barrier rounds will now penetrate taken phalanx shields. I don't exactly know how that pronounces, but probably phalanx. All anti-champion mods have shifted to armor rather than taking a weapon mod slot. Alright, that is okay. Uh, Interesting choice of shift. Uh, Orbs of light have been changed to orbs of power, as they can now be consumed by light and dark subclasses. Right. Right, the collector among Ramon's expired ramen coupons are inventory. This one's saying, but it's a byproduct for us cleaning inventory and doing general maintenance. Want to provide a parting gift before these coupons are tossed to bin. These coupons can be redeemed for spicy ramen, but they can decorate your text as long as you desire. All right, they have put a wallpaper with the spicy ramen coupons. Wow. Uh, yeah, stuff in the Bungie store. Cosmic alignment available to November 9 to December 4th. Uh, Between stars, right, and shattered harmony. So, November 9th, we'll go offline and update 3.0.0 will be ready for us to download soon. After that, so 3.0.1.1, let's see. 3:30 p.m. PST, background maintenance for the update will begin. 4 p.m. PST, preparation of downtime players will be removed from activities and will be required to download a small update before logging in again. 6:50 p.m. PST, sign in will be disabled. 7 p.m. PST, entire game servers will be brought down for expected maintenance and will not be able to log in until 9 a.m. PST, November 10. So, uh, 10-hour maintenance. All right. No, 10, 12, 12, 14, 15. So, 14-hour maintenance. All right. 14-hour maintenance. Uh, Then 9 a.m. PST update will be available for all platforms and regions. They will be able to log back in and probably will have annoying load times and glitches like that. That's always happens. So yeah, uh, or maybe get crashed queue and all that. We all know what happens when like the servers are brought back up first after a expansion update. And 12 p.m. PDT, Destiny 2 maintenance is expected to conclude. That is weird. That is weird. I did not understand that. Like, uh, players will be able to log back in Destiny 2 at 9 a.m. PST. Uh, okay, that's 700 UTC, and after 3 hours, so that's 2000 or rather 2000 UTC. The expect maintenance is expected to conclude. So maybe like we can log in Destiny, but the game servers won't be up or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what to expect of that, but we'll see at the maintenance day. Personally, but I'm pretty sure we all have certain friends of ours who will be at that or in front of their PC waiting just the moment the servers are going up so they can just enter there as soon as possible. So yeah, we'll of course see. So preload will be available prior to the game's release. Preload time. So PS4 has November beginning on November 8 at 8 p.m. PST or 400 UTC. Going to Destiny 2 or pressing options and selecting check for updates. Right. Uh, Okay, so server load, some may be able to pre-download the update starting on November 7, 8 a.m. PST, if they have auto update or download enabled. This is something interesting. Bungie recommends that players should not delete their current versions of Destiny 2 on their PlayStation console to speed up the pre-download process. So yeah, should not delete. Console players remember that. Uh, Xbox preload will be available shortly after Destiny 2 is taken offline for expected maintenance at 7 p.m. PST or 300 UTC on November 9. Auto update, so yeah, go on with that. PC preload for PC will be available shortly after Destiny 2 is taken offline. The same time as Xbox. Uh, Update should be automatically put on Steam download queue once it is available for preload. So let's take a look at the size. Okay. Uh, Destiny 2 install size for Xbox it's 65.7 GB. PS5 is 70.78 GB. PS4 is 70.78 GB. Whereas storage space needed for the installation uh, is the currently is 109 GB plus the update preload is 70.78 GB, so that's 171.68 GB. For Xbox One, 65.7 GB. For PC, Destiny's install size may vary based on language installed. Size shown is maximum size possible, which includes the current version of Destiny 2 up to 116.5 GB plus preload is 69.7 GB, so that is 168.2 GB. That's a big chunk of space. So certain titles and seals will be legacy seals. Certain titles will become legacy seals and unavailable to earn at the start of year 4. Should be able to sure to equip the following titles before November 9 at 7 p.m. PST, after which they will be unavailable to earn. The following titles: the Seal Shadow Rises, title Shadow, Reckoner, Black Armory, title Blacksmith, Destination, title Wayfarer, Low title Chronicler, Undying title Undying, Dawn title Savior, Almighty title Almighty, Arrivals title Forerunner, and Moments of Time 2020 title MMXX. Of course, Bungie rewards. So that is it for this week's this week for at Bungie's the Destiny 2 newsletter. So we are just what Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, 3 days until maintenance begins, and 4 days until we have Beyond Light at our hand. Godfall. Well, there's a game that is being, or rather, developed by Counterplay Games, published by Gearbox. On for PC, it's Epic Games exclusive for now, and PS5 exclusive. Maybe soon it'll come in other platforms as well, like maybe in Xbox and PC, maybe on Steam, somewhere later next year, or who knows when. But yeah, so there's a minimum and recommended specs. Windows 10 for OS, AMD Ryzen 5 1600 or Intel Core i5 6600 for minimum requirement, AMD Ryzen 5 3600 or Intel Core i7 8700 for recommended, 12 GB RAM minimum, 16 GB RAM recommended, and AMD Radeon RX 588 gigs or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6 gigs, or that was minimum, or AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT 8 gigs or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti 11 gigs is recommended. Specs for Godfall. Now, before we go into further details of Godfall, but there was something interesting to talk about there. Let's take a look at their store page on Epic Games Store. So they have a pre-order bonus, starter pack items, set of all the augments, amulet trinket, and ring trinket. Chrome, Silvermane, Phoenix, and Greyhawk Valor Plate skins. So Valor Plate are essentially the armors you are wearing in this game. They are your armors that you are switching. Just like in Warframe, those are Warframes you are switching. In Godfall, they are Valor Plates worn by the Valorian, which is your player character and many other characters in the game, and your main villain as well. Anyway, Yellow Typhon Valorplate skin and Zero's sword. They are the pre-order bonus digital loot. They have three editions for pre-order and all that. Standard edition, deluxe edition, ascended edition. Standard edition, you only get the base game. Deluxe edition, you have base game and expansion. While in ascended edition, you'll get all the more goodies, the gold Valor Plate skins for Silvermane, Phoenix, and Greyhawk, Red Vertigo, Valor Plate skin, gold weapon pack, gold shield, gold royal banner, and Zodiac Knight lobby title. We have some really good screenshots here. And let's get into the talk regarding this Godfall.
Brother against brother. Macros tried to kill me. He failed. His reign ends with me.
You can count on us. You are strong, Orange, but not strong enough. You need to craft better weapons.
Go on. Light the forge.
When you defeat each of his lieutenants, their strength will become human.
It's time for your madness to end, brother. I was never just your brother. I am your god. I'm ready.
So that was Godfall's launch trailer, and it will be up in November 12th. So there's a lot of games coming in this few days within the November scenario. A lot of games. You, you might remember that Watch Dogs Legions also came out. Uh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is also going to come out. So a lot of games for all of us to play within this time period. Yesterday, there's one thing to talk about Godfall is basically what happened yesterday. So yesterday, the Country Play Games CEO and their team senior technical developer, as well as two people many of you might know, Erics and by name is Buff. They sat down and had a Q&A session video uploaded on their YouTube page, on the Counterplay Games or the Gearbox official YouTube page. I'll be linking that video in the description below. But basically, what they talked about, they showed a little bit of gameplay. Had a boss fight against Trex, one of the bosses in the Water Realm. Uh, so basically, the game is separated into different realms where you have Earth realm, Water realm, different realms they are segregated in the world of the Godfall, that is. So some of the details that came out from their Q&A was first fact, you have 12 valor plates in the game. So 12 different valor plates for you to choose from. You have crafting recipes from them. You have to get loots and all that, that you crafting materials and things according to the recipe. For example, one particularly challenging and complex recipe is from a certain valor plate known as Hinterclaw. So, it, as they have said that Hinterclaw will probably you'll unlock it at the end game due to the extremely difficult crafting recipe that Hinterclaw has. Uh, Loot is something that is instance for player even in co-op, so you don't have to worry about some of your friends hoarding the loots. Uh, the seventh sanctum is your home base. From there you uh, do everything, like go do the missions through your hollow map, use the forge to upgrade your gears, and there's also training construct where you train. uh, you might remember the simulacrum thing in Warframe, kind of similar to that, and uh, you can have your loadouts changed and all that, update your uh, valor plates, unlock your valor plates, all the fun stuff at the seventh sector. There's also, but in terms of main attribute, there's you have three main attributes: might, spirit, and vitality. Might scales your attack damage, your normal attacks, and all that. uh, as you know, the weapons in this game are basically uh, old weapons like sword, polearm, axe, uh, bow and arrow. I believe there was one, twin dagger, and kind of like that. You don't have guns and stuff like that here. There's like a old wars and stuff. That kind of scenario you're facing here. So you have might that scales your attack damage, spirit that scales your ability damage, some of the AoE damages that scales, like they have said that the Warhammer, which is basically giant hammer, some of its abilities scales with the spirit, and vitality, which scales your health basically. There's also some other attributes from your weapon perks and all that that will be shown in your menu. I mean, in your uh, main screen profile, if you may. You have two weapons, one right hand, one left hand, or main hand or offhand weapons, one charm, one amulet, two rings. Of course, each of these gears have their own attribute, their own perks and skills and whatnot. One life stone that regens your HP over time and allows certain powerful attacks, and a banner which shares buff. So banners, every player has a banner. You might remember Dauntless. It also has player banners, but their banners don't really do anything in a sense. But here banners, like four or three players, or how many in your party? I believe four player will be the max. Possibly, I'm not exactly sure about that one. Can be three player, can be four player, but basically every member in your party has a banner, and every player shares the above one banner pool. So you have four, like let's say if you have four member party, you can have four banners, and they give you four different type of buffs. Let's say I'm not exactly sure again how many banners are there. I mean, how many players can go together in the co-op. I'm guessing four would be a standard number, but it can be three. Don't take my word on that one. There are 50 levels, so 50 is your level cap. You get one skill points per level, additional skill points for various attribute activities, but there is will be a limitation on how many skill points you can get, because there is a finite amount of points. If you want to complete the entire skill tree, it will be a 125 skill points, but that is not possible because they Counterplay Games team wants that players have some fun with their skill tree, skill grid, and make interesting combinations, not absolutely go ham with completing the entire skill grid and just become supremely overpowered. It doesn't work like that. You have to be extremely interesting and extremely, like, how to say, it'll be very fun to watch what people will do with their skill grids, especially when you know that you only have one skill grid that is shareable across all the valor plays. Nothing for you don't have to grind again to get all the skill points. Also, the fact that you can respec extremely easily, their word, not mine. Uh, you can respec extremely easily and get all the skill points you have spent in your skill tree. So we can always respec and put new builds on. Now, within the game, you have 70 unique enemy types. That is without counting the elites and all the powerful bosses and all that. There are 10 different mid bosses in hunt missions. Hunt missions are certain one of the game modes where you hunt bosses and like you have your story mission with your campaign. There are certain bosses you're gonna fight there, and there are some enhanced versions of those bosses also in the hunt mission. But basically, you have 10 different mid bosses to take care of in hunt mission. That will be different from the other bosses you are going to face there. In terms of the number of the enemy types, you have 5 different tribes that you are going to face within the game. The Vorgol that defends the Earth realm, the Abyssians that defend the Water realm. Then you have the Black Tide mercenaries, the Crimson Wind, and the Nyax. And actually, take a look at the Gearbox official Twitter page. I'll be linking this down below. You have various screens, various shots that how they look like. They have shared a little bit of interesting details. Also, remember that My Name is Beth has been doing a lore video series on this uh, of the background lore that you are going to start your game on. So be sure to take a look at that because I watched it and like really Beth does an incredible job with the lore, just incredible. So go ahead and watch that. Uh, Also, the fact that now that is your mission that you are going to in the co-op scenario. You have 45 minutes of game when you're starting the game, like around 45 minutes of gameplay. Now, if you're going to stay somewhere, watch the entire world that is around you, not doing anything, that's up to you. But 45 minutes of gameplay of the story is a tutorial. But after that, uh, you can have co-op from the very get-go. But the player you are going to co-op with must be on the same story chapter you are on. You cannot you cannot go on with another player to a certain chapter they don't have access to. That is not possible. Just no spoiler. Yeah. Uh, So other than battle banner, there's also traits uh, that will be adding more synergy within the co-op scenario. We're very much interested to see how all the different um, traits there are in the game, you know, how much players are going to mix and match, and how incredible builds uh, we are all going to make. I believe this is something everyone are interested to see when counterplay games. Then, after you have finished your campaign, finished off the final boss, you have endgame to think about, right? So in the endgame, there are 2 phases. First phase is the Dreamstone mode. Basically, according to the lore, which made Bayer very happy that the Dreamstones are born of Cosmera's dream. Cosmera, the dragon who was the reason this world was born. Basically, go and see the Bayer's video. He made an incredible video on this. Uh, so you have enhanced bosses to fight there. Uh, there are 18 Dreamstones, as of now. And after the campaign, you unlock the first Dreamstone. It will have 3 rounds. It's known as Ascendant Solaris Dreamstone. You have 3 rounds of randomly generated activities. No one has any idea what it will be. Uh, so as you complete the activities, you will get bonus rewards, temporary buff that will stay throughout that very Dreamstone, and uh, you'll get clues regarding what are the modifiers that are affecting the boss that he became enhanced. So if you fail to complete the round, then you do not get the details, not to mention the buff and the additional loops. So be sure to finish it. Otherwise, you'll have to fight the boss without all these perks and intels. So chances are you might fail is a little bit high, and you might have to do the Dreamstone again. Now, first to ninth Dreamstone is known as the first act, which is mainly catered to get the players to the max level, which is 50, and their builds and everything ready. Uh, After that, from the 10th Dreamstone to the 18th Dreamstone is the second endgame loop, second act, which will also unlock the Ascended Tower of Trials. So Tower of Trials is something that has bosses and stuff like fight in the trials and fighting enemies and getting loots and all that. It's a looter after all. But Ascended Tower of Trials is basically something that does not end. It's like randomly generated, and it goes to infinite amount. You can keep fighting and keep fighting and keep fighting. It's basically meant for you to keep fighting and get loots. There are also some unique loot, some special rewards that are only available from the Ascendant Tower of Trials only. And finally, the interesting thing about lore of this game, uh, which some of us are very interested in, especially after watching Bayer's videos, because he has worked with Godfall games and definitely will see a great ton of lore regarding that. Uh, So you have a codex where all the lore entries are there. When you kill an enemy, you will have lore entries regarding that enemy as well, and some other things. Around there, around the world, there are also lore fragments, like some writings, some journals, some diaries that are that records the perspective of the writer. You will find interesting lore pieces from there as well. And also all the loots, all your weapons, all your rewards, everything has a lore entry as well. So the I am pretty excited to see all these incredible informations and what we make of the world of Godfall. So guys, that was it for our 11th episode of the Catching Up series. With all the games we have talked about, all the incredible stuff we have talked about, hopefully you guys have a lot of games to play with during this time period, and let us know how you like this game, whether you're going to play any of this game, if you are going to play which game it is, what you like. Meanwhile, follow us on our socials and do leave a comment on down below how much you like these games, uh, what are the incredible things you're looking for any of these games, what you are really excited on to play, and all that. I'll be very happy to have a chat regarding this. Stay safe, stay well. We'll see you next time.